Hello, my name is Emma, and today I'm going to be playing the love triangle game with characters from the Shadowhunter Chronicles. It is TDA November. Emmabooks has become Shadowhunter Central, as if it hasn't been Shadowhunter Central for the past 4 years. Today we are doing the love triangle game because with Cassandra Clare comes love triangles. Listen, Cassie, you know I love you, but it's time to let the love triangles go. I know you love your forbidden romances. I love the way you write them, but we just don't need a secondary love interest every single time. So today I'm going to be playing a very exciting game which was originally created by Jesse the Reader, where I'm going to take a bunch of characters from the Mortal Instruments, the Infernal Devices, and the Dark Artifices and put them in a love triangle and then find out who I think would end up together. I have my trusty Immortal Cup full of a bunch of different characters and I'm extremely excited to dive in. For the record, as these characters exist in different times and they're all different ages, I'm just gonna go with this as everyone is 17, 18, and that's just the way we're gonna play. So the way this is gonna go is the first person picked is going to be the protagonist, and then the next two are gonna be the two potential love interests you have to choose from to match with the first person. So my first protagonist is Jace. I feel like I always pick Jace first. I swear, this is a conspiracy. And then my two love interests are going to be Simon and Gabriel. I'm here for this. I want them all to date. Personally, I feel that Jace and Gabriel would clash a little bit too much. They're both very sassy, although I do think Gabriel is a little bit more mean than Jace. Jace is a little bit more playful. But Simon and Jace have so much sexual tension built up from City Bones all throughout the series, so I'm 100% going to say that they would be endgame. I mean, they're Jaimin. They already have a ship name in place. In a universe where Clary doesn't exist and Simon and Jace still happen upon each other, I would love to read a love story about just the both of them. I never read fan fiction, and just the fact that I pulled them out together, I feel I just need to read some Jaimin fanfic right now. Next pick, my protagonist is Clary, and her love interests are Lily and Isabel. Honestly, the main reason I put Lily Chen in here is because I really wanted her to get paired with Maya because I ship them so hard, but it's fine. Also would be totally cool with the three of them in a polygamous relationship. I'm here for it. But I'm also gonna have to ship Clary and Isabel like Clizzy. These are already established ships in the fandom. While I would love the cutesy Clizzy romance, I'm also so interested in how an actual love triangle with Lily would play out, because Lily and Isabel both have really big personalities, and so I think it would make for a really good tensiony love triangle. I feel like Cassie could write a really angsty love triangle between the three of them and I would just love every minute of it, but if I had to choose one, I think that Clary and Izzy would definitely fare better in the end. Next group, our main character is Alec. I'm just picking all of the Mortal Instruments characters today. And our love interests are Julian and Sophie. So Alec is gay. I think he'd rather kiss a room demon than even dream about touching a vagina. So I think Sophie is just automatically disqualified. I probably would have picked Julian for Alec anyways, though I'm not sure exactly how well they would fit together. I feel like this is kind of turning into the rip it or ship it tag, because I don't know if I would ship this. Alec and Julian definitely do have their similarities. They both have this sort of no-nonsense outlook on based on their different life experiences, but for some reason, I just feel they wouldn't vibe together. So my next protagonist is Maya, and her love interests are Will and Emma. Ooh, this is a tough one. I feel my endgame would be Maya and Emma, though. I am just all for the badass female ships. As we learn in City of Ashes, when Maya's character is introduced, she just doesn't have time for broody bad boys, so I just feel she would not care about Will. But I do think her and Emma would get along really well. I do know that Maya is confirmed to play a role in Queen of Air and Darkness, so we'll actually see them interact for the first time, which will be interesting. But given that they were the same age, I think it could really work. I would be really interested to see how an actual love triangle with the three of them works out, because similar to Isabel and Lily fighting for Clary, I feel we would have some great scenes of Emma and Will just clashing, vying for Maya's love, which would be really interesting. But Emma and Maya for the win. All right, our next protagonist is Gideon, and his love interests are Tessa and Christina. Well, Tessa and Gideon exist in the same story, which is interesting. So like they already know each other, whereas I have no idea how Christina and Gideon would interact.
Hi, don't look at me. I'm really sick. But I also just remembered that Gideon does speak Spanish as he studied at the Madrid Institute, and while there are 100% linguistic differences between that of Mexico and Spain, I feel like I could definitely see them having some cute conversations in Spanish while like everyone around them can't understand, and I think that would be really cute as well.
You know, I reread The Infernal Devices very recently, but I feel like I don't have a lot of moments of interaction between Tessa and Gideon that stand out in my brain, so I feel like that's also really fueling my decision. So yeah, I feel like Gideon and Christina would probably work out, whereas if Tessa and Gideon pursued something romantically, I feel like Tessa would probably be the one to just like step back and be like, it's not you, I just don't feel that way, and it would end, and then Gideon can live happily ever after with Christina. My next protagonist is Jordan, and then his two love interests are going to be Cecily and Jim. Oh man, this is a doozy. I feel, no, this is easier than I thought. I feel like endgame would be Cecily and Jordan. Jordan is a character that carries a lot of weight with him through his time in the Mortal Instruments series. He definitely is just always focused on his past mistakes and trying to make things right, and that's like his primary motivation. So I feel like a lot of his personality is actually toned down because of that fact, and I feel like there is like this bigger personality underneath it all. I have this inkling that he has this really like fun, adventurous side. Like I like to think of Jordan and Maya in the past when they first met, and I feel like that Jordan would fit really well with Cecily. Jem is definitely a sweet, careful lover, whereas I feel like Cecily is one to more like jump into things head first, and I feel like that complements Jordan a little bit more. It's funny because thinking of the three of them as a love triangle, Cecily is a Herondale and she is obviously very similar to Will, and so I feel like it would almost sort of play out like the Infernal Devices series, where it would be like Jordan torn between the very wild, sarcastic one and the like soft-spoken one who is always there and supportive. So I think this is probably the most engaging of all of the love triangles. Clary, Isabel, and Lily are definitely a contender, but I feel like this would be like a really interesting love triangle to explore, but Cecily and Jordan would probably be endgame. I believe this might be the final round. So our protagonist is George Lovelace. Oh my god, this is so exciting. And our love interests are Magnus and Mark. Ooh, this is such a good one. My instant thought is Mark. With Magnus being this like 800-year-old warlock, I feel like he's just like a little bit too sophisticated for George. George is very like fun and playful and humorous in my opinion, and while that's something that Magnus has as well, I just feel like his personal individual personality would fit better with Mark's. Mark, as we know him in the Dark Artifices series, is in like a severe state of transformation where he doesn't really know who he is himself, and I feel like having someone like George by his side to just like lighten the mood and make him feel good would be really, really great for Mark as well. So I'm gonna say my end game is George and Mark.
I actually feel that Mark and Magnus would work better together than George and Magnus. So, like, maybe it would be one of those situations where, like, the two people who are vying for one person's love actually end up falling in love with each other. Like, I would be down for that.
So that concludes the pairings of the love triangle game, but to end out this video, I want to see if I can maybe create some ship names for these. So we already have Jaimin and Clizzy. Those are the easy ones. The rest of these I'm not feeling very confident about. I've been sitting here for like a whole last minute and I can't think of anything to combine Christina and Gideon's names. The best I can come up with is Cridian, and that literally sounds like a prescription drug. So like, I don't know how cute their ship name is, but I think they would work out. Emma and Maya, I feel like Memma is probably the best choice there, but like I know from personal experience of me trying to ship myself with my favorite celebrities, Emma is not the best name to try and make a like cute Bradgelina couple name with. Julian and Alec, I feel like the best option is Julic, which like I don't like either. If you didn't know, I am the worst with coming up with ship names. Jordan and Cecily, this is even freaking worse. You know what? Let's go with Jordaly. That's not so bad. That's probably the best out of all of the names that I've made up myself today. Jordaly. I'm pretty proud of this one. And finally, we have George and Mark. We either have Jork or Morge. They're both so terrible. I feel like Morge is like so bad it's funny, whereas Jork is just bizarre. So we're gonna go with Morge. So that is the love triangle game with characters from the Shadowhunter Chronicles. I love games like this. I don't know what it is. There's just something that gets me so hype about pulling post-it notes out of this mortal cup, and I'm just always so hyped to film, and I always have so much fun doing it. Let me know your favorite love triangle combinations in the comments below. Did you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Let's discuss. Stay tuned for more Shadowhunter themed videos this TDA November, but that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon for a new one. Bye!